Well, hello there, everybody. Figured I should make this update video for you guys who are currently waiting for the server to drop and have been asking, oh, well, when does it drop, or how do I join, or when is this coming out, kind of thing. So, first updates, we're gonna just jump right into this here. So, first one, yeah, we're not gonna be doing a play test in July like I hoped we would have. The main reason is I've fallen behind on my project, which is setting up the server's CTC system for the trains. It's been a bit of a headache because command blocks and things, and we don't use open computers, but it's fine. It'll work. I know what I'm doing. It's fine. It's just gonna take a while. I am hoping to do a play test before the end of the year, and that's the best I can say for it right now, because I know for a fact I can have the CTC system done by the end of the year. But as far as opening up the server to you guys in the public, I don't really know when. Or I can't even give you an estimate at the moment, because we need to run a play test first to get true performance, like a proper play test, not just us server admins just running amok and doing Norfolk and Western coal drags as benchmark tests. Insert image here. I do also want to clarify what the server is about, since it may not have been clearly stated in the trailer, as there were a lot of questions. So we're just gonna sit here and we're gonna talk about this. As far as joining the server is concerned, once the Discord goes live, you guys will be able to see all the channels, or at least the first few channels, like information and stuff. The server is going to be a application based whitelist, so you have to pass a very brief, simple application, and then once you pass that, you get whitelisted. Then you can see all the details, like the manuals and handbooks and all that fun stuff, which I believe another immersive server out there does something similar as far as like how you join, which I think is Nordale, I want to say. Also, if anyone here from Nordale is watching, hi, hello. I thinking of joining you guys and doing the fun British thing when I have time and my head's not on fire. But anyway, so yes, you fill out an application, pass the application, and it's really easy. Don't stress about it. It's super simple. And then you get whitelisted and you can join the server and do all the stuff. Now, as far as builders and testers go, as of right now, we're good. If we need any more, there's a few people in mind I'm thinking of reaching out to. And then if we need more beyond that, then I'll probably put out a video or something that's like, hey, we need some help. Or, falling behind over here type of thing. But anyway, if it happens, and you guys will know if we need more help. So moving on, let's discuss the main part of this video, or at least why I'm making this video, which is explaining how the server is going to work and outlining everything that you as the player base can do. At its core, this server is supposed to be a blend between traditional Minecraft survival economy and a operations-styled scheme similar to the game Railroader. If any of you have played that, this will kind of help you understand a few things as we go here. Now, quick disclaimer before we continue. This outline that we're going to be talking about here is probably going to contradict what I put in the trailer, just a little bit, because that was a very, very rough idea of how I wanted to do this. But now that we've gone further with development, the more I've thought about it, the more I kind of know what I want to do with this server to help it kind of stand out from the rest. This server is basically going to be set up in a way that is meant to attract a wide player base that all want to do their own thing. So you could do, the way we want to set it up is basically you could do either basically only train things, similar to the game Railroader. If all you want to do is deliver cargo, that's fine. It's all set up in a way you can do that, no problem. If you want to play traditional survival, there are land claims available that you can purchase and do as you please with. Now, land claims can range from blank land in the middle of nowhere, vaguely near some tracks, or a property in a city that you can purchase, whether that be a vacant lot, house, gas station, restaurant, you name it, it'll be a thing you can purchase. Now, ideally, when the server opens and you guys start playing on it, I'll have it set up in a way where the two different play styles won't clash with each other and won't have their economies clash as a result of that. They're meant to be able to mesh together if needed, but can also coexist by themselves. It's supposed to go something like this. Let's say you get on and you want to play in survival. Okay. You can make some money by running cargo trains, more on that in a second, and then you can take the money you've earned from that to go buy a land claim out in the middle of nowhere. Now, granted, all the land claims are going to be kind of connected to the system, whether they're next to track or they're next to roadways. Once you buy that land claim, you can do whatever you want with it. You could make a house, a base, some sort of automated, well, I don't know so much about automation. We'll kind of see, because performance tests still need to be a thing that are done to see how we want to do this here. But if that's how you want to play the game, fine, no problem. Now we're going to kind of backtrack a bit, because you'll notice I said to make money you have to run cargo trains. The railroad is and will be the primary source of making money on the server, whether that be you shipping cargo between industries, you having an industry that, because yes, some industries will be purchasable, more on that in a second, whether that be you running an industry and shipping items to places, the railroad will always be the way to make money, or at least one of the best ways to make money. This is kind of where the mechanics of railroader come into play. You are, depending on the cargo type and what it is and yada yada yada, you are paid by the industries themselves for either the delivery of empty cars or transport of loaded cars from that industry to the designated destination. There will be a database that will always be updated vaguely daily. So every 24 hours it'll be updated to show the right status of a list of cars, where they're at, what their number is, who owns them, who has cargo on that car, and where they want it delivered to. Now, this is where I kind of have to stop discussing the railroad and bring up the industry tiers really quick, which here's the list right here. First tier industries are raw material industries, so logging camps, mines and quarries, farms, oil fields. Then there's the second tier industries that are processing materials or processed materials. So you have stuff like sawmills, steel mills, oil refineries, grain elevators, factories, power plants, that sort of thing. Then there's the third tier of industry, which is labeled as consumer storage and last mile. This is pretty much where all goods that you are shipping from first tier and second tier industries are going to end up. This is where they're either loaded to trucks, to ships, or in some instances, tier 3 industries can be labeled as a player's base. More on that in a second as well. Now we're going to have to jump to the industry tech tree here really quick. I'm aware this looks like fucking spaghetti. Just stay with me on this one. Now, this very, very rough draft will kind of help me explain how the industry system is supposed to work, and also kind of how we might base industry payments off of. Again, this is all very kind of up in the air right now because it's still in very early stages, but it's supposed to go kind of like this. Let's say you have the steel mill. Okay, the steel mill will spew out all forms of steel, whether it be steel plates, beams, whatever. But the steel mill needs input from the iron mine. It needs coal to power the furnaces, and then the iron to turn into steel. Okay. Well, the iron mine also needs input. The iron mine needs beams or planks from the sawmill. Okay, well, the sawmill needs input from the logging camp. It needs logs to turn into planks. It all kind of forms a chain here. And then from the steel mill, the product will either want to be shipped to a tier 3 industry, like a warehouse, terminal, the docks, whatever, or it'll want to go to another tier 2, like a factory, where it can be turned into random household items. Then from there, that's going to want to be shipped to a transload terminal, warehouse, the docks, etc., etc., etc. Now, as of making this video, the rough plan is to have a certain load pay more depending on how far along in the process it is. So let's say you're taking a load of logs from the logging camp to the sawmill. Okay, it's good. It'll pay you some money. But if you're taking a load from the steel mill to a warehouse, the transload, the docks, whatever, it's going to be worth more because it is a more refined product. Now, as of now, the plan to help even this out is to have the occasional load leaving from let's say the logging camp, for example. Occasionally, it'll put out, hey, I need X amount of cars to go from my industry straight to the docks. Forget refining it, forget whatever. This needs to go to the docks today. Or, whenever. That, to help balance it out, that'll also be a high-paying load. Again, this is all subject to change when the server is open. But that is the rough idea for now. Now, in an effort to keep things interesting with how shipments are handled, the server's rail network is divided into 5 different subdivisions that all kind of meet in the middle. The 5 subdivisions being Woodland Subdivision, Elijah Subdivision, Aero Subdivision, Lazuli Subdivision, and the Textile Subdivision. And this is where things get fun. Certain subdivisions will be owned by certain railroads, meaning certain power can't go certain places, but industries will want to ship their goods potentially across multiple roads. Now, yes, realistically, we could do run-through power as a kind of workaround to this, but again, we kind of want to keep things interesting and unique and different, So, interchanges are going to be a common thing on the server, mainly kind of in the Lapis Point area because of the 2 yards here, and plus, this is where everything meets in the middle. On top of that, again, to keep things interesting, fair, balanced, whatever, any cargo that is being interchanged between 2 railroads cannot be taken by the same player from A to B. Meaning, if you pick up a load of logs that are on, let's say, the Textile Subdivision, and they want to go to a sawmill on the Aero Sub, the farthest you can take the logs is to River Yard and Lapis Point. Drop them on a yard track there, then another player will shuttle those cars to UP's ore yard on the other side of town, and then a different player can then take those cars with UP power down the Aero Sub to the final destination. Now, don't worry about how payment for interchange cargo is going to work. I'll figure that out, and it'll be tested. We'll do a lot of economy testing before the server opens. So if anything seems kind of wonky now, don't worry, it will be refined. We'll figure it out. It's going to work. Now, one thing I thought about while recording this and getting all this stuff together is a way to have scheduled freight trains outside of single unit commodities like double stacks and whatnot. One idea I have that, again, will end up being refined by the time the server opens was any player-to-player cargo that's running from, let's say it's running across 2 different subdivisions, and it's a UP to BNSF transfer shenanigan thing. A fun way to have this scheduled would be any bases or player-owned industries along that subdivision have their cargo loaded and ready to go by a certain time each day if they have anything, and then a player will take power from one end of, let's say, the Aero sub to Lapis Point, which then picks up the loaded cars along the way, and then that will be interchanged to BNSF, and then someone with BNSF power will do the same thing. They will take a engine, whatever, they'll take the train down a different sub, let's say the textile sub, and then will drop off the loaded cargo as they go. And then like the next day or something, or whenever all the cargo is unloaded, you do the process in reverse with all the empties. Just a fun little idea I had to keep things interesting. We'll see where we end up when the server actually comes out. Now, in an effort to keep things interesting and kind of keep the server relevant on the channel while we're still working on it, there's going to be some videos coming out probably right after this one. Like when I say right after, probably by a few hours. The first one is going to be a video that covers all of the crossings in the urban section of the map in Lapis Point as like a hurrah and end all to those god-awful crossings of Lapis Point videos I made eons ago that for some reason did really well.
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
I don't know why. And then after that is going to be a sort of multi-part series highlighting action across the server. It'll likely be a while, though, between the second and third, depending on how we do this, because the first part and maybe the second part we have filmed and ready to go, but I need to stop procrastinating and get the CTC board stuff finished, so it might be a while until you see like part 3 and onwards, but we'll see. It'll be a thing. But yeah, that's something to look forward to. Got the crossing video coming out after this, and some action across the system and other shenanigans. Hope you folks enjoyed, and we'll hopefully see you soon on the server, and Lord willing and the river don't rise. We'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.